Welcome back to class, beloved FreeMelons. I'm Eli. Today we are continuing our lecture on the origin and nature of disease. I'm very excited to bring you this part of the lecture series. Today we're going to talk about how it is quite impossible for a medical concoction or a pill or a vaccine or whatnot to enter into the body and actually cure a lifestyle-related disease. Okay, or condition. And I'm very excited about this because this is going to be straightforward, so easy to understand. There'll be no need to talk about any chemistry, complex, mathematical, physical principles, none of it. Just logical, rational thinking. That's it. Now, it may seem like a chemical or a drug, like let's say an antifungal or antibiotic, heals and cures your disease. It may seem that way, but I'm going to show you how to see through that illusion and to understand why, even if you are ostensibly on the surface healed by an antibacterial or whatnot, that actually cannot have taken place. You cannot have been healed by the antibacterial. Okay, I can't wait to get started because this is going to be so easy to understand. Let's get going here. This is how allopathic medicine cannot heal your disease. This is not a slam on the entire medical institution. Hospitals and doctors have a very, very integral function and use in society. And that is emergency treatment, emergency management. You break your arm, you break your shoulder, you break your neck. There's no place else you'd want to go other than a hospital. And these people will work nothing short of magic to stabilize you. You know, if you're about to die and you need morphine, you need a stent, you need this, you need that. These people will do that for you and they'll save your life. For that, we have to be so thankful that we have an institution that we can rely on to take care of us in that sense. However, when it comes to health and health maintenance and the upkeep of the human vital organism, this institution can do nothing for you. Now, the first thing that we need to do, orient your thinking so that you are considering this problem. And the best way, of course, to do that is with our good friend analogy. So let's use a couple of analogies that illustrate the exact same problem-solving type of formula that would be used in the sense of treating an illness with a pill or an antibacterial or antiparasitic or whatever. Okay. Eli walks into a densely populated city in Saudi Arabia. He's wearing a shirt that says, "Islam is for losers, and Muhammad is as much of a prophet as a sea cucumber is an elephant." Or any other insult that you think is a bit more inflammatory. I'm just wearing an anti-Muslim shirt. I'm also wearing an anti-Muslim hat. Islam is the religion of dogs. Whatever, something to piss people off.
Saudi Arabia is continuing the religious cleansing that has always been its official policy. The official policy of banning all churches.
As you can imagine, that's a little bit of a problem. In order to deal with this problem, I go to my friends and I ask them, how do I stop people from beating the crap out of me every single day? My friends solve the problem by giving me brass knuckles, knives, and guns. So the next day I go into the city, I've got my brass knuckles, I've got my guns, and I've got my knives. I successfully defend myself against a wave of 5 or 6 attackers with my weapons. Perfect. Problem solved, right? Wait a minute. That didn't solve the problem. No, the problem still exists. Wait, hold on. I thought the cause of the problem was angry Muslims coming and attacking me. So I solved the problem by arming myself, and now I'm able to defend myself against all of these angry people, right? So problem solved. No, I'm still wearing an I Hate Islam t-shirt. The fact that I was given weapons that may temporarily help me, or may temporarily alleviate the problem, there may at some point come a time where I might have to deal with 10 to 12, and the weapons that I've been given are not effective enough to deal with them. So yes, I may have been given what seems to be a cure to the problem, but I'm still wearing the anti-Islam shirt. And so as long as I am wearing that shirt, and as long as I continue to just amble around in Saudi Arabia, I'm still causing a problem. The only way to secure my safety is to get rid of the shirt and to leave Saudi Arabia. That would actually solve the problem. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, last little analogy. I am collecting seawater, okay? So the ocean runs onto my unit extracts some seawater, some salt and water, and dumps it in a bucket. I want to make this bucket of water that I'm collecting acidic, or at least I want to make it less alkaline, less saline. I want to add battery acid into that container so as to make it less saline. Okay, so how much battery acid do I need to add to this to make it permanently acidic? Well, it's just not possible, right? Why? Because the continual operation of my seawater collecting unit is constantly draining seawater into this receptacle, right? So the environment that I have set up is designed in such a way that seawater will be constantly collected and filtered through this bucket. So it doesn't matter if I just choose one moment in time to add battery acid into that saline solution, the salinity is going to keep coming in. And so long as that salinity keeps coming in, then I will never have actually solved the problem of making the saline receptacle neutral or acidic. I have to deal with the fact that my entire apparatus is collecting seawater to begin with, right? I have to stop that process in order for the receptacle to have any change in the battery acid that I put in there, okay? You see what I'm saying? These analogies should make very, very obvious sense. Okay, let's apply this exact same thinking to the medical field. So if you saw part 1 of this series, then we now know how disease manifests and how it comes about. We know that disease is simply an accumulation of toxemia in the system brought on by enervation and by checked digestion and by the weakening of the nervous force in the body that does not allow the proper elimination of metabolic and digestive wastes. Those wastes accumulate, and then they burden the system with too much toxemia, and then that eventually expresses itself as all the various diseases. So we know that. So we know that the causes of these diseases are lifestyle-related factors that constantly accumulate waste in the system. So this is how medicine thinks now. If the cause of a disease is the constant, perpetual, day by day, month by month, year by year accumulation of disease, right? Constantly accumulating waste. So you've got all this waste over here, and now it's come to the tipping point where it's caused a disease, a necessary reaction by the physical body in order to deal with all of this waste. You go to the doctor and you say, "Doctor, I've got a horrible skin condition." What does the doctor do? The doctor introduces a couple of pills and he says, "Take these pills. These are going to cure you." Now, I want you to use rational thinking here. Whatever is in this pill, do you imagine that taking this pill will somehow magically eliminate all of this waste that has been collected there and sitting there for years or months or weeks or whatever, all right? Do you think that that is something that is possible? Let me answer the question for you. It is not possible. No, it's simply not the way the physics works. It's just simply not the way nature works. You cannot introduce into an environment one particular compound and have it compensate for or eliminate all of these wastes that have been sitting and accumulating for forever. Not only that, but if the system that you are operating, meaning your lifestyle, you eat badly, you eat meat, you eat dairy, you eat grains, you eat fast food, whatever. If these practices continue and you expect to have your disease cured by a pill or injectable or whatever, then how do you think that that's going to have any effect on all of this waste that's not only still there, mind you, but keeps getting added to over and over consistently through lifestyle behaviors? It cannot happen. That's not the way it works. The only way to get rid of the causes of disease is to reverse the behaviors that put these waste products here to begin with, and to energize the body in such a way that it detoxifies itself by eliminating these waste products. That process is something we can get into later, fasting, restrictive diets. That is how you cure the disease. You cannot cure by adding something into the formula that does not address the underlying condition, okay? Honestly, guys, that's it. That's it. That's the end of the lecture right here. Does that make sense? It should. Okay, so the obvious question is, but Eli, if I do take a medical treatment and it does heal me and I stop expressing the symptoms, the antibacterials or whatnot, and they work and you actually get better. So how the hell does that work? Well, let me tell you how that works. When your body is experiencing acute symptoms or acute illness, what is happening, as we talked about in the previous lecture, your body gets put into emergency detox mode and it's trying to expel wastes from your system in whatever way it can. So let's say it's a flu, for example. You have the fever, your body is smart, it knows that high temperatures burn up bacteria and whatnot. That's why you have a fever. That's why you don't want to put on cold packs in your head and whatnot. You're cooling yourself down. Your body is smart, okay? It's heating you up for a reason, God damn it. You've got the runny nose, you've got the sore throat, you've got all these detox symptoms, okay? Now, you go and you take an antibacterial from the doctor, or you go and take some sort of harmful chemical medication from the doctor. What happens is that your body has a choice. It can either be poisoned by the drug, or it can put emergency detox mode on hold and use its energetic faculties to try and digest and deal with the poisons associated with the pill that you just took. Now, everybody being smart is going to make the latter choice. It's going to end emergency detox mode, and it's going to pour all its faculties into digesting and getting rid of the toxins associated with the pill. So anytime that you stifle symptoms, anytime that you cut off the body's process for eliminating disease, it will seem as if you have been healed because the symptoms end. But the symptoms have only ended because we have used an artificial means to stop the elimination of waste products. And once you stop that process, it will seem as if you are cured. However, what is going on underneath the surface is that the waste products that would have been scheduled for elimination go back into the body and go into lockdown back into the cells to await another day for when whatever you do is going to bring them up again. So you actually lock the disease matter back into your body when you take artificial chemical or artificial healing protocols. These things, all they do is they combat symptoms. And when you do that, you stop your body's natural process of elimination and you heal inefficiently, improperly, incompletely. And that's why it seems that, you can take an antibacterial or something and heal, but you can't actually have healed because you didn't eliminate the actual cause of the problem. Now, in the case of the antibacterial, remember my analogy about walking into Saudi Arabia, right? The antibacterial may have actually killed some bacteria. It may have actually destroyed some bacteria. But that isn't the cause of the problem. What we really should be asking is, why are we being flooded by bacteria, right? So bacteria are going to keep coming at me until I identify the reason why the bacteria are coming, right? And that has nothing to do with the absence of the medical drug. It has something to do with lifestyle behaviors that are causing the bacteria to be present. Do you understand? Medical science does not understand this at all. Okay, they don't understand this at all, and they prove it. They prove it. If you look through the medical textbooks, then you'll see that all the time, for all of these conditions, causes are unknown. It's really amazing. Now, if we know that in order to cure disease, cause must be known, is it rational to assume that if you do not know what cause is, you cannot get rid of the effects? Is that a rational statement to make? Okay, let's go through some medical literature and see which conditions they say the cause is unknown. Okay, let's look at Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease, all right? Let's see here. While the cause of Crohn's disease is unknown, okay? All right, well, that didn't help me at all. I can't do anything with Crohn's disease. This whole page of information is useless. Useless if you do not understand cause. It makes sense. What about Alzheimer's disease? What can Wikipedia tell me here? The cause of Alzheimer's disease is poorly understood. Oh. Okay, well, that doesn't help me at all then, does it? I can't do anything with Alzheimer's if I don't know what the cause is. Let's try something else. Okay, what about colitis? Colitis, inflammation of the colon. Colitis may be acute. Okay, yeah. The cause of the inflammation in the colon is undetermined. Well, if I don't know what's causing the inflammation in the colon, Well, how do I cure it? It doesn't matter if I know that colitis is inflammation of the colon. I need to know what causes that in order to do anything about it. What about arthritis? Can the medical establishment do anything with arthritis? Okay, a term used to any disorder that affects the joints. Over 1,000. Treatment includes, okay, treatments. I'm not interested in treatment. There's nothing here. There's nothing. They haven't told me anything. There's nothing here about what causes arthritis. Ah, here we go. Causes unknown. Look at that. Causes unknown. We do not know what causes arthritis. Great. So you're telling me you can't heal arthritis then? If you don't know the cause, you cannot cure me. And you'd be amazed if you go through the medical literature. You'd be amazed at how much medical literature admits that they don't know the cause. And if that's the case, you can't do crap. You cannot heal your patients if you do not know cause. And that's why you're coming to this lecture here, so that you can understand cause. You can walk away from 2 lectures, 3 lectures, and understand cause, and never get a disease for the rest of your life, right? That's knowledge. That is power. And what these people give you is nothing but disease, confusion, and dismay. It's unreal. Autoimmune disease. What about autoimmune disease? We hear so much about this. Well, okay, let's see. Autoimmune disease. There are lots of different types of autoimmune disease. Nearly any body part can be evolved. Yeah, these are just describing symptoms. Oh, here we go. The cause is generally unknown. Well, that's fantastic. That is just fantastic. All right, let's browse around here. We got all these conditions and disorders. This is mednet.com. Anemia. What about anemia? A medical condition in which red blood cells and hemoglobin. Anemia is caused by a decrease in the production of red blood cells. Okay, stop right there. Anemia is caused by either a decrease in production of red blood cells or hemoglobin, or an increase in loss, usually due to bleeding or destruction of red blood cells. That is not the cause of anemia. What they've done is they're describing the symptoms. They're describing what happens. All they're doing is describing the disease to you. That's not the cause, okay? The cause of a person punching me in the face is not because the person was angry. I have to know what made him angry to want to punch me in the face. God, this is so easy, so basic, right? So obvious. Reading this doesn't help you at all. If you have anemia and you're going to this website for help, this will not help you. Anemia is caused by a decrease in red blood cells? What causes a decrease in red blood cells? You see what I mean? Are you seeing what I mean? Medical science has no idea what they're doing. Appendicitis. Let's try appendicitis, okay? Appendicitis. Small worm-like appendage. Appendicitis occurs when the appendix becomes blocked. Okay, so appendicitis occurs when the appendix is blocked. Fantastic. What causes the blockage in the appendix? What is the appendix? Do you need it? Yes, of course I need it. It's in my body. God, it was given to me when I was born. Appendix, most common. Nothing here. Nothing here about what causes appendicitis. Nothing. When I went to go do my blood work, I picked up some pamphlets just so I could show you. Know and understand thyroid. Okay. So right on page 2 or 3, it says causes. Most cases of hypothyroidism are caused by an immune system malfunction.
What the fuck?
What causes an immune system malfunction? Okay, do you see what I mean? For reasons still not fully understood, the body's own antibodies start to attack and gradually destroy the thyroid gland. Well, I have news for you. That's not how the body works. That's not how nature works. Nature just doesn't decide all of a sudden for no reason to start destroying itself. This whole world would be chaos if nature did that, all right? Everything in this manual is not helpful. If you do not understand what causes are, there's nothing here that can help me, right? For some unknown reason, the body just starts destroying itself. Well, you have to know what causes the body to destroy itself before you can help your patients, don't you? Reduce your risk of colorectal cancer. Let's see what these friggin' geniuses have to say. Many cases of colorectal cancer start out as polyps, which are small non-cancerous growths on the inner wall of the colon or rectum. What causes polyps? Okay, I don't want colorectal cancer. How do I prevent colorectal cancer? If you can't tell me what causes polyps, then you can't help me with colorectal cancer then, can you? You see, this is what they do. All they do is they describe the disease. They describe the symptoms to you. Describing the situation doesn't do anything. One of my close friends from university, brilliant guy, fantastic man. He's such a nice guy, such a sweetheart. And he's a doctor. And he came by one day and I asked him, just what are your experiences in the medical field? And I'll never forget, he told me a story about a guy who was diabetic. A patient came in one day and, reported to him a bunch of ill effects that he was experiencing. And I'll never forget, my buddy relayed to me what he told the patient, and he told his patient, what's causing you to feel bad is that you're not taking your diabetes medication as I instructed you to. I sit there, knowing how ridiculous that is. Because diabetes is not caused by the absence of diabetes medication. Diabetes is a reaction of the system to the ridiculous lifestyle habits that we have. And as much as physicians and doctors want to help you, I guarantee that 90% of the doctors that you encounter are nice people that actually want to help you. It's just that by virtue of the institution that they have come from, that is the insidious agent. And it creates people that aren't armed with sufficient knowledge to help, even if they want to. I don't want to come off sounding too harsh. I'm not targeting doctors. I'm targeting the institution that has been deliberately raised around healing and around disease treatments and whatnot that is inefficient in an insidious way. Okay, that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Just very briefly, in the approach that the medical field takes to treating disease, it's trying to divorce itself from the natural principle of cause and effect, okay? You understand? If these drugs and these medications were in fact the answer to disease cure, then it would have to mean that the entire principle of cause and effect is null and void, which of course is not the case. And I've driven this home hundreds of times in this lecture, so really hope that you understand this. Medications cannot physically and chemically heal you. Only you can heal you by employing the natural force in your body to bring you health, harmony, healing, and happiness. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'll catch you on the next one.